bring
No,
them
no,
up.
we were just chatting in the backstage. You don't have to keep us here if you don't want us. So
Okay, okay. I guess the hangout
I don't
spot
know.
is the
Actually,
backstage.
if Liberal Cluck wants to say something, he can. Sorry, I'm just
Well,
jumping in.
when I left the stream last year, we're talking about drama stuff. I'm much more interested in the reforming the house stuff because I'm boring like that.
Okay,
I mean,
what
I
do you
think
want
it's
to
got
talk
to be a
about?
little of both.
A little of both. If y'all want to talk politics, I'm down to stay here and talk politics with y'all. But I
Listen.
don't want to interrupt the drama stream. You know.
No,
Right.
it's
No,
hold
wait,
on.
listen,
Like,
listen, Mr.
there's not a
Cluck, can I make a
separation here. I want
case?
to be
Yeah,
clear.
I was gonna make the case. I
Go
was
ahead.
gonna say, look, a lot of this stuff, a lot of like, partisan in politics and the way politics is drama amplified into larger orgs essentially and larger.
Yeah. Welcome
Okay.
back.
Oh, did I just get kicked? Oh no, I didn't get kicked.
Yeah.
No, Discord.
History is just drama that happened before. Politics is drama that's happening now on a larger scale with group identities as opposed to individual I mean, sometimes individual identities, but at the end of the day, all of these things are human beings interacting and dealing with difficult situations and trying to navigate effectively big issues. So the line between reforming the house and how do we move the needle away from everybody sucking Hassan's dick is pretty thin,
Yeah,
you know?
so I'm down to talk about how do we stop like the DSA insurgency, as y'all put it. I'm down to talk about that. That's an interesting topic to me. I can't say what you said because my niece is in my room right now.
Oh my gosh, I'm
No,
so
she can't hear you. You're in my headphones.
Wick, is this
No,
18 plus stream, man.
Yeah, it's
Why
18
you,
plus stream.
is this a Yeah, I was about to say, is this a
But she-
PG-13 space?
No,
Do
it's
I
not
need
a
to-
she can't hear
play
you.
for a stream. I don't know why you're look. If you were a child and you're watching my stream, turn off.
No.
Turn off.
She cannot hear you. She cannot hear anything. I'm just saying I can't repeat those things.
I see.
Yeah.
Understood.
Anyways, hey baby girl. Anyways, so yeah, how do we stop like the DSA insurgency? I think that one of the things that a lot of people in the center, the moderates, establishment, whatever you want to call them, miss in this equation is like they're more than happy to talk about like the problems that the DSA has and stuff like that, but they're not really. I don't see a whole lot of like how are we losing to these people type deals.
Well, first of all, we're not.
Yeah. Overall, you're not. It's like 90 something percent.
Sure. We've out of the hundreds of primaries that have happened, DSA won 2.
Yeah.
Maybe three.
So I mean, in that case, then like, should we even be worried
But
about?
It's more than they've done before,
Yeah.
which is concerning.
Yeah.
You know what I think about a lot? My mom. My mom was diagnosed with skin cancer. They caught it very early though, and they were able to nip it in the bud.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom's fine and healthy. I think about that a lot. How if since they caught it early, before it had metastasized, before it had spread, they were able to just scoop it out, easy peasy. It would be a different situation had they ignored it and concentrated on other things and let it fester, let it metastasize and spread throughout her body. We might not have my mom with us anymore, and that would be a very sad thing. So the point is, the point is that even though they're not winning yet, they are at a point where they are cancer. They need to be removed now before it is harder to do so.
Yeah. So what do Democrats do? What is your prescription for this?
One, I think that we should be vocal in distancing ourselves from people like Hassan Piker. We should not invite them to the Democratic College Democrats Association.
That was crazy.
We should condemn the people who are responsible for that decision. We should push them out of the party, push them out of leadership in that party. So that's step 1, right? Step 2, we need to make it very clear what our values are and stand on those values and draw lines. So no matter how evil of a person we think someone is, it's not okay to be bigoted towards them. And we need to stand on business with that. And third, we need to be better communicators. One of the problems that the Democrats have is they're not very good at speaking up for themselves and showcasing their wins. We need, and this goes on to what I was talking to the other gentleman about. We need a bigger new media presence. We need to compete in the new media because we're not. If you go on Twitter, you would think that the DSA was the Democrats, like that they had taken over completely. But it's just not true in reality. And so we have to make sure that we are fighting on all fronts here. And I think that
Like,
those are the three main things and steps that we can do. Do you have any steps for us, Zoog, that you
there's
Zugami, that
okay,
you want
so
to know?
there's someone named Neon Tabby in my chat, and they're saying that there are no good places for Dem interviews right now, but maybe we could make one. I mean, I'm in the DC area. I mean, maybe.
Well, there are some good places. I mean, Destiny interviews people. Brian Tyler Cohen interviews Dems a lot. The Bulwark interviews Dems. Pod Save America's hit or miss for center people. Like some people will rail against them because of the railroading of that DNC guy. But there are some good places online for center left Dems. I think one of the things that Democrats have a problem with is that they play it way too safe, and that's a part of the messaging problem. Like they've got to be able to like not only condemn people like Hassan, but do it kind of like in an edgy way. Like call him out for his cowardness, call him chicken shit for not wanting to debate, things like that. Like you said, don't invite them to the Democratic the
Sure.
college Democrats.
Another problem though is that, and this is their strategy, and this is what they'll do, right? Especially in new media. I'm talking the new media space specifically here.
That's us.
Um,
We're new media.
Yeah, we are new media. It is exactly us. Whenever we call out the left, you will be harassed.
Yeah,
You will have death threats against you.
yeah,
Me calling out, look at what we just went through. Alice called out Hassan, and look at all the comments they were making.
yeah. And David
RGR
Pacman.
called out someone on the left. They drove her to extreme measures, and they didn't care. Like, if
That's
they
messed up.
infect audiences, they will harass you, they will attack you, and they will isolate you, right? They will
just
lie
feel
about
like,
you. They will
I
come
was
after
warned
your
about
associates.
this.
It's
I was
crazy.
warned about this last night. I was on a call with some people, and they were warning me about exactly these things that this community does. And it's so crazy to hear it corroborated and completely independently of that call. So I was saying I don't really understand because, I haven't been through it in that capacity. And they were like, oh, you're gonna go through it. So, and the inevitability of that is so concerning to me. And what's really concerning is about the way that the far left is operating within these spaces where they think that that's something that's okay to do. You're always like, I will always be memeing, I'm always gonna
Yeah,
meme
it's
on people.
effective
I'm
though,
always
right?
gonna laugh. I'm always gonna say stupid things. But I am never gonna go look up someone's home address and put them on blast like that. Even somebody I hate, even Hassan Piker, I wouldn't put on blast like that. People's privacy is their privacy. I think it's a human right.
So
Yes,
People like
yes,
everybody has a
yes.
right to feel safe in their home
But that's
and
why
to
they
feel
do it.
safe in their life and to be able to it's okay, look, I see this as an extension of people's First Amendment rights to freedom of speech. You should be able to say what you want to say without fear that somebody is going to come and attack you.
all right, so let
Yeah.
me
And
You-
I'll just stop
go ahead.
because this is important. This is why they do it, because it's very effective. A lot of
It's
people
fascist.
Yeah, a lot of people won't start up as a liberal or as a center or even as a moderate creator. They won't do it. They won't start channels. They won't speak out. They're scared to speak out. They're literally scared. They are
Yeah,
terrified.
I
to
had
speak
no
out.
idea this
Yeah.
space even existed. And dude, this is why the right wing is gaining so many people, because there are narratives spreading that the entire left wing is the radical left. That's the narrative. I'm telling you, as someone who was on the outside, that's the narrative that's spreading right now. And the only hope is to go to the right. Okay? That's the narrative right now, is that the right has more political differentiation and room for agreement than the left by far. That's the argument that's being made. So it is really a massive, it's a big deal. Dems really have to be a
Let
lot
me read
louder
a couple super
and
chats and then
step up.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna read a couple super chats. I'm gonna give it to Uncle Muffles. Okay.
Okay.
$2 from the Trip One to say sponsored by APAC. Okay.
It's because
$5.
I'm here. It's because I'm here.
Well, this one isn't. $5 from Talibots to say sponsored by APAC, but I think she means it like positively. Talibots is also Jewish, so. And then you have the witch for $10 to say this is whataboutism, but worse because these people are swatting, a-logging, doxing, going after anyone associating, and Destiny has only doxed. These aren't nearly as bad. What the fuck? True.
Happened.
Okay, Uncle Muffles, what do you got?
What's up, Unc?
Yo, I guess this is like tangentially related to some drama content, but I'm not really here to talk about that. It's more like the internecine conflict going on between everybody who should be a compatriot on our side, right? Because I saw Josiah give some of the most reasonable takes, because I understand the dangers of Hassan, his corrupting influence, how like absolutely unstable it could lead to a political future should he like garner traction and gain power, but not like actual power, more like clout. And he was getting absolutely lambasted online by people that have connected links to like our political segments on social media platforms. And this to me was insane because Josiah, who again, just speaking his mind and like said earlier, was getting attacked for it. I was not expecting to be like just completely lashed out at by essentially rabid dogs online. And especially if they're supposed to be like our comrades in arms, our fucking constituents, people who align with us. And then that extends even further to Soy Pill, right? I understand
Oh, this is
why-
a new drama. This is a super new drama.
I mean, honestly, it could probably be
From the
washed
last
off in,
couple
like,
of
the next
days. Yeah,
week.
I heard about this. I heard about this.
It's just like, regardless of where Soy Pill is coming from with it, I understand why he's doing it, right? Because
Why is he doing it?
okay, because it's adding more like ammunition to Fox News. Like it was just said earlier, how if my message can get
Oh,
out
are you
there,
talking about
and
my quote tweet?
the quote tweet, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like if the message can get out there to 1,000 people and I reach 10 of them, that's a win. It's a double-edged sword. It could work in reverse, like maybe to a lesser extent, but it still happens. And so I think it would be enough to send out the message without like helping propagate the evil fucking media apparatus of the current administration.
I think that quote tweeting something to show an example of what you're talking about is totally fine. One of the problems is whenever we punch left, we have people come out and says, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! You're not supposed to punch left. MAGA's right there." And one of the problems with that ways of thinking is it makes it so because these people like Soy Pill, they're going after us all the time, right? Every
Wait,
single day.
is he?
Well,
Wait,
no, Soy Pill
has
isn't.
he?
But Soy Pill
Yeah,
specifically isn't. I like Soy Pill. He's my friend. But people like in that kind of mindset, right? Will come at us every
but we
single
can't.
day,
But we
and
can't. We can't
respond because
lump.
then
But if
we're
Soy
punching
Pill
left.
is
But they
chill,
can
we
come at
can't
us.
lump him in. We can't lump him in with everybody. Obviously, something is happening
He
with
did
him
come. I
because
want to make it clear though. He did come at me, right?
why
He
did
did
wait?
come at
But
me.
I
So
wanna.
I'm
I
going
wanna
to come at
understand.
him back just a little bit, and that's okay.
Okay, okay, Mac. Like
It's gonna happen, right? If you, I'm not a
I
punching
didn't know
bag.
this was always sunny.
Sure.
Jeez.
But I just want to make this clear. I'm not a punching bag. So if you punch me, even a little, I'm going to match energies, right? I'm going to criticize you when I think you're wrong.
Why is Soy Pill picking fights with people who he's supposed to be friends with?
Well, he thinks that, well, look, there's nothing wrong with if he thinks I'm wrong, I think he should be able to call out and say, I think you're
Sure,
wrong.
but
That's fine.
why is he picking fights? Because there was an issue with him and another creator where he was refusing to even talk to that creator and just misquoting and misclipping stuff like in our same space. So I just want to understand, it maybe as people who know him a little bit better, because I don't know him. I met him for 2 seconds. Why would he do something? And then I saw a screenshot of him saying that he wanted to separate himself from Destiny and yada yada yada. I'm just.
My guess-
Does anyone have actual
my-
insights as that? I have no idea what's going
I
on.
have no personal insight, but there is like a pattern that I noticed that with a lot of these people, they're kind of just looking for a community, and they find it. They it's almost like getting love bombed by these people, where you get a lot of acceptance and a lot of praise as long as you're on their side, and as soon as you step out, you get all the hate, the vitriol. I don't know if that's happening with Soy Pill, but that does happen, and it happens with
Wait,
MAGA
so
too.
are you saying
It's
that
Soy-
he
it's
is
just real
feeling?
quick.
Are
would
you
like
saying
Soy-
that
if Soy
he's
Pill wants
feeling
to call
that
in, he
he's?
can, right?
Wait, are you saying that you think that he feels that he's getting vitriol for disagreeing with this community? Is that what
No,
you're
no, no,
saying?
no. That's the way the leftists operate. Is as soon is that they if you're on their side, you were saying it earlier. If you're on their side, you're like the best friend. You're amazing. You're awesome.
Friend
And
enemy.
it's and then as soon as you step out, and that feeling can be intoxicating to people.
Yeah, but
Like
hold on. Yes, but we're missing things, and I think that we're conflating things, and I want to make sure.
Yeah,
we keep a
I'm just.
big
That's why I'm
distinction.
asking for.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
asking clarifying
Soy
questions
Pill isn't
because
someone that I think
I
is
have
one of
no
these-
idea what the. I
Yeah,
have no idea what the
for sure.
context is.
Well, let me explain. Soy Pill is not a secret tanking. At least
Correct.
not that I
He's
can
not.
tell.
He's on our
He's
side.
not.
Let that be known.
He is wrong on this.
Wait, what is
But you
this
can-
that he's mad about? What is he
He's
upset
mad
about?
that I quote tweeted Fox News to say that people like Kyle Kalinske and Chevrolet were helping Trump win, and I think they
There's
are.
nothing wrong with quote tweeting an example. That's what a quote
agree.
is.
I agree.
When you
I
write
agree.
an essay and you need a dissenting opinion, you go and you get a quote to analyze.
Yes,
This
I
is
agree. I
the
think it's a
online
silly
equivalent of
criticism.
that. Why do you have to virtue signal a quote tweet? That's so asinine.
Yeah, I think it's such a silly criticism that he did. But I have no like personal. I want to make this clear. I don't have personal beef now with Soy Pill because he did that. I corrected him. We had a little back and forth on Hutch. If he wants to talk about it more, he can. But like, I have no like. We're still friends. We still talk.
Okay.
We're still okay.
Okay.
But yeah, it's that kind of. It's so crazy to me that people will try to make these and drive these wedges because you'll see people on both sides of this try to be like, well, we should destroy Soy Pill now. No. And people are like, well, Soy Pill is right to try to destroy Wick, and he's not trying to destroy me, right?
So
None of this is happening.
somebody came in my chat and said it's not a dissenting opinion of Fox, it's an endorsement. Is that true? What
what was the endorsement that I made?
I don't know.
I
This
don't know
person is
either. That's
called
why I'm asking. I can't see how this was an
infallible foul. Can you? I don't know. I have no idea.
it sounds to me like these
What is
people that they think that
Can you
any
pull up the tweet? Actually, can you pull up the tweet? Can we
I'd
look
have
at
to
it?
find it. Give me a second.
Can I see that? Can I see the
give me a second.
source?
it
Can I
sounds
analyze the source? I
So-
think
Yeah, give me
somebody
a
else
second,
says,
I'll
I don't
find it.
know. I think
Oh,
Wick
we're
retweets
gonna
are
cycle
single.
liberal cluck. I'm gonna let you go. I want Alice back in here because Alice has some things to say.
I miss her.
Love.
okay.
Cause and effect, as in like us doing this.
You can't just point to one
how
thing that
did it-
was- that
How
was
did
not
it? How
possible.
did it help us win? Because if it didn't help us win, then we're doing it for no reason.
You mean having the
Like you-
courts not tied up so they could get things passed in the
You're
Congress?
not supposed
Because
to be on-
the Supreme Court, if it's majority Southerners, can block stuff from coming out
You
of
need to
Congress.
go
Hold
lay
on.
down and go to
If the
sleep.
Supreme Court justices are engaging in active acts of insurrection, then yeah, like you can remove them. I don't think that's
They
unconstitutional.
removed them before that became an issue. They just removed them. I'm pretty sure that one of the first things they did when that happened was they
You
packed
down,
the
go
Supreme
sleep.
Court up to 10 so that it was mostly northern
Go
judges,
down,
and
lay-
they
go to
kicked
sleep.
them all off. They didn't keep them on there to let their votes go through. They
I
kicked them all off,
I hear
made
that
it
you're
10
saying
northern
you're sick.
judges,
You can go lay down, go
northern
sleep. That's
judges,
the best thing for you
to
if you're
make
sick,
sure
not a
that
popsicle.
legislation wasn't blocked by them. Like, I mean, I don't know how I get
Hold
more
on.
plain than that.
What was the process that they used for appointing the justices? What was the process that they used for removing the justices? Did that break the United States Constitution? Was that done in an unconstitutional manner?
Are y'all talking about the Supreme Court?
I don't know the exact thing.
We're
I'm looking
talking
up
about
right now.
illiberal versus liberal usage of
I mean,
Um,
technically, if you pass anything through Congress, it'd be with the Constitution, right? I mean, I guess technically, right?
yeah,
You want to
like
go?
and then I also want if we're talking about like having a Supreme Court that's just like a if your argument is that the Supreme Court when we changed it that it became like a yes men thing for the Lincoln administration, then there should be no examples of the Supreme Court like arguing against like the powers of the presidency during the Supreme Court during the Civil War, right? Like that shouldn't exist.
I'm sorry, I was typing. Could you say that again? I'm sorry. I'm
Okay,
not.
like so the concern that I'm bringing up is that like if you have a Supreme Court that's entire purpose is just to say yes to a certain party that will fundamentally weaken the nation. And your example was like, well, we did that during the Civil War. So does
Because it
that
was
mean that when okay, assuming that we did change the Supreme Court during the Civil War, because I'm sure it did. I don't know what exactly was the constitutional basis for it. I'm sure it was constitutional. Um, uh, Assuming that did happen, was this a yes men court or was this like a real legitimate court that actually did like still consider like weighing the powers of the presidency and weighing the powers of Congress and the Constitution and all of that when it comes to like engaging in the Civil War? Or did they just say nothing and only said like yes to the presidency? What was the
well the
situation?
well the point. It wasn't necessarily to make yes men. The point was to make it so that like Southerners couldn't block legislation by like being like, hey, this is in the best interest of the Southerners, like freeing the slaves and all the other shit, right? That they did. Like,
The Emancipation Proclamation?
just an example, like stuff like that. Like they could potentially block things that are happening, that are being done
There was
through
no
Congress.
Southerners. They were engaging in acts of insurrection. They had no one to represent them.
Wait, wait. Sorry, could you repeat that? You cut out because of the robot voice.
During the Civil War, they were engaging in acts of insurrection. There was no one to represent them in Congress. What obstructive
There were
legislation
still
could they
Southern
be?
congressmen and Senate people who were voted by them to stay there until they seceded.
And then when they seceded, they were not there. Do you think they just like stayed in Congress while they were fighting the Civil War?
That I would need to look up specifically. I do
The
know
answer is
that
no, they weren't. They were in Richmond, Virginia, which I believe was the capital of the CSA.
well, I don't
And
think it was a
they had their own Congress for
I don't-
the rebel state, and they were fighting the North.
well, yeah, it's after seceding, yes, but I don't think they all necessarily did that. Like, not all the congressmen may have necessarily. Some of them may have stayed as Northerners because they did agree with them or whatever. But it they formed a new government, right? So like,
Yes,
I'm
but
sure a
when they
good amount of
formed the
them
new government
probably
and
did.
when they seceded from the Union, they had no representation in like Congress. I'm pretty sure the representation like was done by the executive branch at the time. Like it was like this is like a whole thing
Yeah, I
because they
don't.
were engaging in acts of like the states themselves were engaging in like acts of insurrection. Like I think this is one of the reasons why West Virginia was able to secede from Virginia during the Civil War was because like the state legislator was engaging in acts of insurrection. So like you didn't need the permission of the state legislature in order to like create a new state.
So because of the fact that they were doing all this insurrection stuff, there was no longer breaking the Constitution just to do the things they were doing. Is that your argument?
Like so like yes, the Emancipation Proclamation, for example. Like you realize that the Emancipation Proclamation was not like the end of slavery in the United States. It was a like I think it was almost like an executive order done by the president of the United States, in which he could force the state governments that were engaging in insurrection to end slavery because they were like they didn't have proper representation for themselves because they were engaging in insurrection. Like slavery was still legal in the United States when the Emancipation Proclamation was done. It was legal in northern states. But
I know. Well,
he could do that for the
laws
ones that were
from-
seceding.
because it wasn't a quick thing. But yeah, the I guess I don't understand your point exactly when you're saying this, because at the end of the day, they're still U.S. citizens. Yes, they don't have representation, but like